Welcome to our student and alumni panel as a part of our 2020 virtual open house here at Yeshiva University. My name is Chad Austin, and I am the Chief Enrollment Management Officer for the university, and I will be moderating our student and alumni panel today. We would love to be doing this in person, but for obvious reasons, we are not able to this year. It is our hope that one day we will all be able to return to campus and have an in-person open house. So we hope that you will enjoy and get everything you need out of our open house today, especially our student and alumni panel. We have invited a diverse assortment of our current and alumni students who will be able to give you an insight into who they are and why they individually came to YU and the experiences they've had or are having currently as current students. Now, we are all on campus today, those that are on the panel, but we are all in separate rooms to ensure the health and safety of everyone on our campus today. So we ask you to sit back and enjoy, and hopefully you will learn what you need to about Yeshiva University. So we're going to start out by introducing each of our panelists. We're going to ask them their name, where they're from, their major, or what they majored in if they are an alumni of the university. For those alumni, we would love to know their current status. What are they currently doing? And just to change things up, what was the best food they had on campus? So Sam, why don't we start with you?
Hey, my name is Sam Shmaya. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. My major is business management and I have a minor in psychology. The best food I've ever had on campus is probably going to be Burgers and Grill, either their schnitzel sandwiches or the burgers. Really good food over there.
Hi, so my name is Isaac Bendahan and I come from the Canary Islands in Spain, and I am double majoring in psychology and mathematics, and I love shawarma, so I had to go with that.
Hi, my name is Adam Hamowitz and I am an alum. I graduated YU in the spring of 2018 with a major in biology. I'm currently a third-year PhD candidate at Einstein, and back in the day, my favorite food was always salmon Thursdays in the caf.
So my name is Max Cohen. I am from Lawrence, New York. I'm also a recent alum where I major in accounting and minor in finance, and I'm now an investment banking analyst at UBS. And also I'd have to echo Sam, my favorite food on campus is the Burgers and Grill, which I loved eating there all the time.
My name is Aaron Puro. I am from Hollywood, Florida, and this is currently my third year in YU. I'm a psychology major going for a pre-med student. And I would say my favorite food is definitely the deli roll on Friday nights.
Hi, my name is Noah Mannenberg. I graduated this past spring. I'm from Teaneck, New Jersey, and I have a degree in computer science. Right now, I'm employed by Google as a software engineer, and if I had to say my favorite food, it would be a tough choice between the grab-and-go Chinese food and the Wednesday French fries that they have for lunch, specifically on Wednesday. They are the best ones.
Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you now individually why you selected Yeshiva University as your destination for education after high school. So let's start with Max.
So I was supposed to attend Baruch University, but midway through my gap year in Yeshivat Reshit, I actually decided to make a switch and attend YU. And I think it really boiled down to three reasons. I think the first one was community. The relationships I know I can build with friends, existing friends, but also new friendships I can eventually build through my experience at YU. Also, I knew that YU is a very strong alumni network, and I knew that to eventually acquire a job, it would take a lot of networking to actually get there, and I knew that YU really provided the proper alumni base to get there. And also, I also really wanted a dual curriculum with the learning aspect in the morning, to have the Limdei Kodesh and learn Torah in the morning, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that throughout my experience in YU. So that was probably those three reasons why I actually ultimately attended YU.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Noam, same question to you.
That's a little bit more complicated. I originally knew I wanted to go for computer science. And when I was in high school, I had heard that YU's computer science department was incredibly small and not its strongest department, which made me a little bit apprehensive. I ended up choosing YU for the community, for really the friends that I had and I hoped to gain at YU. And little did I know, I was ready to be completely wrong, because there was a new department head that was hired, I think, during or after my senior year of high school. And right now, computer science is the largest department in the university, and the education was incredible.
So it seems like taking a chance on YU really paid off for you.
Way more than I could have imagined.
Great. Aaron, tell us why you chose YU.
YU offers this unique experience where I'm able to balance learning Torah in the mornings while also taking secular class in the afternoon, going for with the psychology major and hopefully aspiring to be a psychiatrist one day, going to medical school. And also it allows me to be a cross-country athlete and to really utilize my love for running. And then beyond that, I would just say the family aspect, beyond the education and the opportunities they have, is just the friendliness and the tight family environment.
Very well put. Thank you. Adam, why did you attend YU?
So, I'll echo some of the other answers that are already mentioned. And that's, I wanted an environment where I would be able to both achieve a level of learning while also getting an excellent academic experience. I didn't personally have necessarily an ambition in high school about what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know that I wanted to go into biology when I was in high school, but I knew I wanted to get that type of experience. But ultimately, what I think, was the real decision maker was that I would look at the people who I considered my role models in high school, whether it be my rabbis or my teachers or older people that I connected to when I was a freshman in high school. And I saw that they went to YU and I saw the type of people they became, and I wanted to have the same experiences that shaped them.
And Isaac, why did you come all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to come to Yeshiva University?
I didn't choose YU, kind of YU chose me because, for example, a month before coming to Yeshiva University, I didn't even know the university existed. Because in the Canary Islands, of course, there aren't many Jews, and it's not known, and it's not common that people come all the way to the United States to study. But there is an amazing person, Ari Salomon, which is the international recruiter, and he appeared, he contacted me, and he told me, listen, you have this amazing option of coming to New York to study in Yeshiva University. And it was a coincidence that I wanted to come to New York because I was born in the Canary Islands. It's a little island. Not many things happen every day. So I wanted to experience something different. And what better than coming to New York City? And that's why I really considered the opportunity. And I didn't really thought of it because I didn't have time. It was so quickly, I had to start classes in maybe 3 weeks when I applied. So it was so quick, but I'm so happy that I made this decision.
And finally, Sam, same question to you. Why did you come to Yeshiva University?
So originally my goals were, as going to college, was I wanted the Jewish environment. But the reason why I chose Yeshiva University over any other college was it's an amazing opportunity for networking, and also just meeting people from across the world is just a really good experience to get to know people's different cultures.
That's true. Nowhere but here. So Max, can you tell us a little about the internship you had at UBS during your study here as an undergraduate student?
Yeah, sure. So after my junior year, I was an investment banking summer analyst at UBS. And it definitely required a lot of work, a lot of effort to ultimately get the full-time offer after the summer. It definitely required a lot of networking to make sure your name is known amongst the firm, but also amongst your team. So networking was definitely a really key aspect of the summer internship. And additionally, it was also just having that eagerness and that want to learn. Learning was just the key to really get there. So just the eagerness to learn, and also just putting your head down and just that grit and just fighting and putting in the long hours that ultimately, thank God, led to a full-time offer. And that's where I'm doing now, working full-time there at UBS.
Isaac. So Isaac is from the Canary Islands, as he mentioned. Isaac is also a member of our men's soccer team. So Isaac, do you have any difficulty balancing your academic studies as well as fitting in practices and games on the soccer team?
I at the beginning, I struggled a little bit getting used to these, to both things, because it really requires a lot of hours of your day, but it just helps you to get more organized and to be a better person. And also for example, the first year that I struggled a little bit, it's not a big deal. We're also in the city that never sleeps. So if you don't sleep certain nights, it's not the end of the world. But at the end of the day, you get used to it. You really learn how to balance both things, which are amazing.
And what position do you play on our soccer team?
I'm a forward.
Okay, so you're the goal scorer.
Yeah, I try to.
So also, on top of being a student athlete, you are an international student. Has that been a challenge as well? Being an international student in New York, studying, playing on the soccer team?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a challenge. I would say it's a different experience. It's a completely different experience being far away from your house, being far away from your family. But like, thank God we have an amazing club, which I'm also part of, which is the International Club. And our goal is to make you feel home, far away from home. And we make a lot of events, we organize panels, we just care about each other so much that at the end you feel like you're home, which is something just great. Of course, there are many things that are different, but I wouldn't call it a challenge. I would call it just an opportunity to discover new things.
I like that. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for growth and to find out who you are. So, Adam, we've talked about our strong alumni network of over 70,000 strong that are eager, willing, and able to help our current students take the next step in their career or maybe introduce them to something unique. Has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. So when I was applying to my own graduate school programs, so I had the opportunity to be able to reach out to various different alumni and to meet different alumni who are currently in PhD programs, and that was really fundamentally helpful in guiding me along the process. In addition to that, I've since been able to return the favor, and I've since been able, even just a couple weeks ago, was talking to a YU student in order to, return the favor and try to guide him and help him on his path to biomedical sciences.
Noam, what were some of the services you used at Yeshiva University, whether it's the career services, academic advisement, faculty office hours, that really helped you prepare for who you are today and where you are?
There were so many of them. I mean, from things as small as reviewing my resume, the Career Center helped me out, Professor Judah Diamond helped me out with my resume, to bigger things such as an event that I think they hold annually now, where they bring in different recruiters from different technology companies and alumni who work at them, and they talk about their experience, the interview process, the recruitment process. And both of those things helped me a lot. And then just the relationship with my professors. For one company I was applying to, they required a reference, and I asked Professor Avram Leff, who I had a relationship with, if he could provide that, and they called him up, and he must have done something good because I got an offer from them. And there's this real comfort that we had with our professors where we felt like they knew us and they could do that and they could provide for us, that I think maybe is not there at somewhere that's larger, where it's a little bit harder to have a relationship with your professors.
Max, do you have a similar experience that you had at YU?
Yeah, for sure. Also, just what Noam said, just from the basics of having them help me build my resume and just edit it and look at it was just also very helpful. But also, I think the job fair every single year, many different accounting and finance firms coming down to the Barron campus on a yearly basis and helping us like meet various alumni, but also to help us network and to build relationships with them was very helpful and vital in us ultimately like getting jobs in these various firms.
So Adam, as a student who is currently a PhD candidate at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, I could assume that it was very competitive to get into the program, and through the application process, the interview, and everything else that goes into getting acceptance to that program. Did you feel that you were competing with other YU students, or did you think that there was a community supporting you and rooting for you to get into Albert Einstein?
So I think it's more of the latter. There are only about a handful of students who apply to PhD programs every year. And because of that, there's less of a feeling of competition and much more of a feeling of a community. We're all in this together, and we're all trying to achieve the same goal, and we want to do that together. And certainly when we all got into our respective programs, we were incredibly happy for each other, and excited to stay in touch to be able to continue that network.
So Max, same question for you. Did you think that the support you had at Yeshiva University impacted you getting the job at UBS?
100%. Like you definitely need that backing, that alumni base to really push you and to kind of show you the ropes. Because also we use them as a benchmark to how do we get there one day. So to kind of see how they got there, then kind of them show us what we need to do to ultimately get there was very important. So they were very impactful and ultimately a lot of us getting to where we are.
Aaron, Can you talk about some of the impactful relationships you may have had with your Rebbeim, the faculty here at Yeshiva University?
Yes, I definitely can. I guess, well, first of all, in Rav Herschel Reichman shir, and he actually lives here in Washington Heights, and it's a smaller shir, so I built that very, deep relationship with him. He invites me to his house all the time for meals on Shabbos, and that's been a very good relationship there.
I love hearing that. That's amazing. Sam, what about you? Impactful Rebbeim, good shir experience, faculty who really, said something or did something that was that profound transformational moment in your life?
So there are three people I'll talk about. One was my dean of the CAT school, an amazing person. He set up a meeting with a bunch of students randomly throughout the semester to just have feedback. He took time out of his day. He has multiple programs just to hear from us as students of any issues we have had or are having that he could improve, and then he would consider it. The second person I want to talk about is my academic advisor. His name was Simon Jaffe. He always opened up his door to me at any time of the day and gave me the advice I needed for anything, not just relevant to my studies, but for a job. When I wanted a part-time job on the side, because I needed to make some money a little bit on the sideline, he gave me recommendations. He gave me advice on how to do stuff. And it was really a great experience for me because I got to learn from somebody who's much older than me and has a lot more experience in the work field, give me advice that it would take me years to develop those skills. The third person is Rabbi Don Cohen. He is the Sephardi Mashgiach on Yeshiva University. He was my Rav my first semester, and he's always there for me, whether it's for Judaism, whether it's for Yeshiva University in general. He always makes time to hear what you got to say, to help you out. He's an amazing person. He invites me over for Shabbat sometimes. And I think he gave me like a closer connection to not just YU, but to Judaism itself in YU, and inspired me to become better in my Jewish ways.
So Noam, can you tell us a little about your experience with your Rebbe, your experience in our dual curriculum studying Judaic studies as well as our secular studies?
Of course. I was in Rabbi Jeremy Weider's shir for just about 3 years. I did a slight vacation from it for one semester, and then I returned to it. And it was really a fantastic experience. It's a smaller shir. And Rabbi Weider really makes a point to develop a relationship with each of the Talmidim. Every week we have a shir lunch where we just really schmooze in the Heights Lounge. He has a Hanukkah party and a Purim party every year. And it's really been an amazing experience being able to have that relationship with him. I mean, he was my Mesader Kiddushin. He still keeps up with me. He calls me about every other week. He asks how I'm doing. He asks how my wife is doing. And that's really a relationship which has been really important for me in my growth in YU. And he was actually also a computer science major at YU when he was here. So we've had that connection. And I've actually been working with him part-time on an Android and iOS app, which has been kind of a bridge between both my major and the Torah studies I've been doing. And we've been working on making a Machzor app and a Siddur app and a Tikkun app together.
Isaac, I hear you're in the JSS Torah Studies program. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yes. JSS, it's the best program of Jewish studies that YU has, for sure. We have the great rabbis from all over the world also. And it's something really, really special. They all we're part of the family once we're here in YU. Like literally, their simchas are our simchas, and it goes both ways. Officially, we have class from 9 to 12, but for our rabbis, we're 24/7.
Adam, as a biology major, can you talk about some of the research that you took part of as an undergraduate student?
Sure. So I had actually numerous opportunities, both primarily here in YU and also in Einstein, to be able to conduct research as an undergraduate. So the first one being with a professor down in Stern that I did for 2 semesters. And then in my senior year, I was able to do both my, research and then my senior thesis with a professor up here. And both of those, along with some of the classes, one of the most profound being my class with Dr. Steinhauer in molecular biology, really were the things that kind of drove me to want to continue this and make this a career.
Max, can you tell us some of the fun things you did outside the classroom at YU?
Yeah, so I think definitely from a social aspect, that's really what YU, like what their bread and butter, one of their big advantages is a social aspect. I remember just every single night after like a long day of both the dual curriculum of the morning learning and then the secular class in the afternoon, just winding down with my friends, either in the library at Maplestead or also just in the dorm rooms or in the apartments, just hanging out. That's really just a great memory that I have from on a consistent basis every single day, just hanging out with my friends. I really think that's really one of the main things that YU has to offer that other universities don't.
Aaron, when we spoke last week, I learned that you were the president of Active Minds. Can you share for everyone what that organization is here at YU?
Yes, definitely. So Active Minds is actually, we are a mental health awareness club on campus. We have all these events throughout the year. We have our one big event where we actually have a few student speakers get up and share their experiences regarding their mental health experiences. If I recall last year, it was probably about 650 people in a room, all dead silent, listening to the few speakers who got up. So that was something really remarkable to see and to be at. And just from someone who's the president of the club, just being able to like work with people, work with those speakers, and the amount I've learned about the YU community and about people's stories and people's experiences in regards to mental health.
That really sounds like an amazing organization. So much you hear about those extracurricular activities outside the classroom that are for fun and for socializing. But it sounds like this organization, more than anything else, is really giving something back to the community. What's also unique about doing it here at YU, when you're having, I guess, impacts in the realm of mental health awareness in YU, it's really speaking to the larger, I guess, Jewish community in New York and throughout the country and even internationally. So do you think your involvement in Active Minds is going to lead to a career in mental health counseling or a related profession? Oh, definitely. I definitely, I guess, discovered a passion through it. And that's actually why I'm looking to go into psychiatry. So Noam, you're currently a software engineer at Google. So how did your experience as a computer science major at Yeshiva University prepare you for this job at Google?
That's a great question. It's almost hard to answer because there's not one thing I can pinpoint. It was everything. It was, the content we learned in classes, which is obviously directly applicable. It was the relationships we developed with the professors that guided us towards what our career interests might be. It was the collaborating with my friends, honestly, in the library, night after night, that prepared me for working on a team. And everything really I felt was just very transferable to the point that, again, working at Google has been in many ways just a continuation of the library 2A.
Aaron, can you tell us about how you spent your weekends? I understand that you had really good experiences staying on campus for Shabbos.
Yeah, so I was definitely an in-stayer. I definitely stayed in a lot. Well, just in terms of the programming itself, it was a lot of fun, just being in the caf and also having meals in friends' apartments and the different programming. But one thing to really pinpoint is, I guess one thing that everyone's been speaking about is the relationships that you could build in YU, the networking. And I would argue that the bread and butter of that is on Shabbos, on the weekends.
Isaac, same question to you. How was your experience on Shabbos on campus?
It's just an experience that you cannot explain. It's Shabbat, you feel the connection, you learn Torah, you learn and you meet people. It's just something very, very special.
So Sam, you mentioned the CATS program. So you took a different route, not the traditional route when you came to YU. Can you talk about your experience in the CATS program and in our associate degree program?
Yeah, it was one of the first years, and it was a great experience. One of the greatest things that I had in CATS that I really loved was they were always there for me. One of the things I always had a passion for was health, as I volunteer for the blood drive. So I didn't want to go into the medical field because it's too many years in college. So I decided I want to take an EMT course. And I was speaking, and this is totally irrelevant to my major in the CAT school. And I spoke to one of the advisors there, and he told me he'll look into it. And he found me an EMT course on campus, which was very convenient. And it led to me having I worked a year in the 911 system. And one of the greatest opportunities I had was me and another friend that is a pre-med student. We went down to New Rochelle in the very beginning of the virus, and we were working on the task force with Homeland Security, state troopers, and the Department of Health. It was a really interesting experience, once in a lifetime. I don't think I'm going to have that experience ever again, just because of the career I plan on taking.
Noam, what do you think Yeshiva University offers that most other schools cannot offer?
When talking to my coworkers, when I first got to know them, they come from a myriad of different universities. Some come from Cornell, UCLA, University of Michigan. And a common theme I found with them is that their computer science programs are so large that they know nobody from them. And none of their friends come from their major. And at YU, my experience was the exact opposite. Almost all of my friends come from my classes. We took almost every class together. We did our homework in the same areas. And that feeling of camaraderie and companionship that I got here, I don't think anyone else I know from a different university really has amongst their peers from their major. And that is something that has been really a great support system for me. I still keep in touch with the people who I was in classes with, and I currently work with 2 people who are in my class.
Aaron, being from Florida, you must be having some trouble with this crazy weather we're having these days.
Definitely. It's funny. Growing up, I never had a winter, so I didn't even know what winter was. Like I'm looking at the leaves and seeing like them turning orange now and falling off the trees. I'm like, I thought that was just a thing in the movies. But it's definitely nice to get those 4 seasons in now after growing up in only summer. And bought a winter coat for the first time a couple years ago when I started YU. And from a runner's perspective, let me tell you, running in the 30-degree weather in the winter is much better than the 98-degree weather in the summer in Florida. So there's definitely upsides to it.
The last thing I want to end with, and if anyone could answer, what's some parting words you have for the next generation of Jewish leaders, the next future YU Maccabees?
So like deciding to come to college, I believe it's a very important decision. And it's something that's going to shape the person you are, and it's going to change your future, and it's going to be it's a big deal. And I think that Yeshiva University has many things to offer, a lot of things to offer, but Yeshiva University is different from all other universities in one thing. That because life usually is about giving meaning of the things you do, and Yeshiva University gives meaning to your education. And that's something that not all universities do. And that's something that you really have to consider while applying or while deciding which college you want to go. Education is great everywhere. Many places have great professors, many places have great places to study, but I think that Yeshiva University is the only one that gives meaning to all this process.
So before I started off in YU, one of the things my mentor said is an open house is kind of what the university wants you to see. So something I would advise you to do is come here on any other night when COVID isn't around and come watch the campus. Go to the library like they told you. Go inside and visit the campus, and you will see what type of lifestyle we live. It's not just something that YU is trying to present to you when they have an open house, but it's something that's actually very unique that you will never find in most campuses. You know, I was thinking of going to a different college, and I went during a random day, which there was no open house. And I got to see the life they had when there was no open house. There was nobody trying to prove to me that there's something there. If you come here on a random night after classes and you walk around campus, you're going to see how active it is. People are talking everywhere, in the library, in lobbies, all over the place. And that unique experience you could actually see here, even when there's no open house.
I want to thank all of our students and panelists and alumni panelists today. You've really given a prime example of the richness of so much of what we do here at YU, that these current students and alumni are willing to give up several hours on a Sunday to come talk to the next generation of Jewish leaders. I think it further emphasizes that our robust current students and alumni network, over 70,000 strong, are eager and willing to be a resource to the next generation of YU students. They want to pay back their experiences. So I want to thank everyone again for participating and for those tuning in at home. And we hope that this will only further your interest in Yeshiva University so that one day you may be on one of these current or alumni student panels.